Hello. Alright, King. Frank, are you, Pete? Looking forward to this. Sitting here, refreshing, lol. Maxie, alright, kid, alright, Gaffer. How you doing? Oh, thumbs up already. I haven't done anything yet. Can you hear me alright? Oh, Nick Z. Alright, kid. Andy Cooper, afternoon. Oh. Right, we're going to build a ESP gimmick card trick. I was going to show this on my channel, but there are a couple of moves in it which with a fixed camera you're not really going to be able to hide, but in the real world you'll get away with it every day of the week because I've done it a few times and it works a treat. Let the party start. Right, you are going to need to build a envelope. You might have an envelope, but you need to build an envelope which has got no top on it because you're going to need to switch this over at some point. And if you haven't got any ESP cards, which most of you probably haven't, you can do it with a regular deck, but you are going to need 5 cards of 3 duplicates. So we've got 3 queens, 3 sevens, 3 jacks, 3 kings and 3 aces. You are going to need 5 cards duplicated 3 times. So we'll come back to those in a minute. And you're going to build an envelope which is big enough to hold all of the cards but easy to get in and pull them out. So we're going to build it about this sort of size. Come back to the cards in a minute. So I've got a standard piece of black craft card. That'll do for now. So I'm going to place all my cards in here. In fact, I'm just going to fold this side over to start with. I've got a ruler somewhere. Oh, someone's been building some Hondo flaps, eh? Right, I'm going to get about 1.5 centimeters of this card and I'm just going to create a crease here with my daughter's ruler. Let's get my posh card mat, craft mat, fold that down. Get my cards. Mind your camera focus, please. Why is it not focused properly? Does it look a bit blurry? Hello, Gaffer. All right, Alex. I'll have a look, mate. Let's see what I can do. Looks fine to me from here. Maybe if I put a light on as well. All right, Gaffer. Well, I haven't had any post yet, Alex. My post doesn't come till late. So I'm going to build an envelope which is easily big enough to hold all these cards. So I'll probably make it, you know, a good 1.5 centimeters wider on this side as well. So I'm going to fold that over. Now is that going to be too... So those cards will fit in there and I'll be able to pull them out. That should be all right. Come back to the cards in a minute. We're just creating the envelope for a minute. It should arrive today, Alex. I mean, post has been a bit slow these days. And if anybody has bought anything from the Gaffer and you live overseas, please be patient because I posted something a month ago and it's only just arrived at its destination. So things are taking a long time. So we're just creating an envelope. Will I go to Blackpool 2020? Probably not, mate. I do like my magic, but I don't like it enough to drive all the way to Blackpool. So that should be big enough for what I need it for. We're going to create a bottom now, so I'm going to fold, I'm going to stick it and I'm going to fold a corner over. So I'm going to cut up maybe 1.5 centimeters up here, fold that over. I'm going to cut this piece out. I'm just going to cut this piece out here. on this flappy bit here. Cut that out. And we're going to fold that over the bottom. We will round off these corners, make it look a bit tidier, and that is going to fold over and get stuck down there like that. So it's not the best envelope in the world, but you know me, it's all about rushing to get the things built. You could take your time when you actually come to do it, and that will get folded over there. Right, where are my cards? Now this doesn't want to be too tall because you just need to be able to reach in and take the card out. So if my card is sitting in the bottom of there, I'm probably going to make it only a centimetre taller or so. About there should do. And I'm going to cut that off there. Pretty much gone all the way through. Not very square though, gaffer, so we'll square that off, make it look a bit tidier. There we go. Thread wood. I ain't seen the Sharpie through card build, but I've not done that yet. Let's get on to that then. So we've created a little envelope which looks like this, and you'll have all your cards, which should hopefully fit inside like that. That's it, that'll do. Might want to work on how big it needs to be. We're going to trim that off so it looks a bit tidier there. But what you do need to do, this little bit here, you need to recreate that on the other side, just so that it looks like when you flip the envelope over, it's the same thing on the other side. So you could literally use this piece. In fact, I'm going to square this piece off just to make it tidier. That's a bit squarer. That's it, now just round off that corner a bit. Like that. And you're going to get a little piece which needs to be about the same thickness as that piece. So we're going to trim that down a little bit. See, this is how I roll, guys. It's all a bit of a mix up. Round that off, round that off, and you're going to stick this piece on the other side so that when you flip the envelope over, it looks like this on that side. We're just going to square that off. That's it. So right, I'm going to stick this down now. Cut that piece off there, it's getting in the way. Right, so we'll have a bit of glue on this edge. Good old Waddingtons, yes mate. They're cheap, and as you know, I do a lot of cutting up of cards. So Waddingtons are fantastic for that. Save using some decent cards. Right, I'm going to stick that down. Now that should be big enough to get the cards in. And I'm going to stick that piece down on the bottom. Just fold that over, stick that down. And then get this other piece you've cut off and just stick this on the other side. I mean, it's not so visible with a black envelope, but it is more so with a white envelope. But this just makes it look like the envelope from both sides is the same. So you're just going to stick that down. So you just literally created a little envelope which your cards will fit into. Right, we're just going to let the glue set on those. Let me just get rid of some of this. Right, so you've got your cards, you've got 3 sets of duplicates. Now I've got 1 card that's red here, that does not matter. And all you're going to do is get 2 of these cards and stick them together. But you need to take one of the cards and stick another card on the back of it. So I'm going to stick the ace on the back of the jack. So we're going to get an ace and a jack. And we're going to stick these 2 together, making sure it looks like 1 card. So that's the jack. Right, you're now going to take the other ace and you're going to stick that to maybe the back of the 7. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to make sure I pick this red one. And stick these 2 together. So it looks like 1 card. So that's the jack and the ace and the 7. So now I'm going to take the other 7 and I'm going to stick it to maybe the red king. What's up? Stick it to that one. So we've got the jack and the ace and the 7. We got the 7 and the king. So we want the king now and maybe the queen. So we're going to put the king and the queen together. So we've got the jack and the ace, we've got the ace and the 7, we've got the 7 and the king, we've got the king and the queen. So now we want the queen and the jack. So then we should have 5 cards left. So we're going to stick the queen to the jack. Hey, the great Wu Ding, where's he then? I didn't see his comment. Oh, there he is. Hiya, Pete. What did you think of Peter Turner's Reading Your Mind? I think it was brilliant. Right, stick those 2 together. So we've got a jack with an ace. So then you've got an ace with a 7, you've got a 7 with the king, you've got the king with the queen, and then you've got the queen with the jack. And let's put these cards aside. So you need to set the cards up. So you've got the jack, it doesn't matter what's on top, it can be any one of these cards on top, but whatever's on the face of this card. So we've got the 7 and the king needs to go next to its mate. So you're going to put the queen there, the jack there, and the ace there. So whatever's on the top should also be on the bottom of this duplicate packet. These are your double face cards. And then you've got these ones which are matching these, but these are just single playing cards. Right, let me just show you how the trick works. It's a great little trick. You are going to need a bit of misdirection because you are going to have to flip this envelope over twice. Like I say, on a fixed camera it's really hard to get enough misdirection to flip this over a couple of times, but in the real world it's no trouble at all. So you can start out with these cards in their order, 7, maybe put these on the bottom. You can put these in the envelope this way around if you want, and when you take them out you can show the back of the cards. So when you turn these over now, they're going to assume that the backs of these cards are the same as the backs of these, but they're not. They're the doubles. So what you're going to do is you're going to show the spectator you've got 5 cards and you've got 5 cards. Now what you're going to say is, I want the spectator to think of one of these cards. It's a completely mental selection, and I'm going to take these cards and make a physical selection. So what you're going to do is turn these face down to the spectator and give them a shuffle so they can see that these cards are getting shuffled. And they can see the backs of these cards. They're going to assume these are the same. So you can, if whatever order this packet of cards is in, when you come to take out your card, you are going to take out whatever's on the top. So in my case, I'm going to remove this card in a minute. So you can get them to make a mental selection. You'll put all these inside the envelope. And then you're going to take these cards and right, I'm going to make a physical selection. So they've mentally thought of any one of those cards. They can think of any one of those cards. It makes no difference. You're just going to go through and take out your card. Leave these face down. Don't show the faces of these cards and put your card inside as well. Bearing in mind, when you put your cards in, they were face up. Your card's going face down, so you might want a bit of time misdirection with the fact that your card is going face down, theirs went in face up. So you've put your card in there, the 7. At some point now, you're going to have to flip over this envelope. So however you want to do it, flip the envelope over. What's going to happen is now you're going to say, right, I'm going to pull out cards one card at a time. I want you to say stop when your card, the one you're just thinking of, comes onto the table. So you're going to start by pulling the cards from the top of the packet inside the envelope. Pulling the cards out one at a time. Is this the card you were thinking of? If they say no it isn't, you reach in and you take another card out. The Ace of Diamonds. Is this the card you're thinking of? No? Okay, take another card out. Is this the card you're thinking of? The Jack of Spades. If it is this card they're thinking of, you need a bit of misdirection now because you need to turn this envelope back over. So turn the envelope back over, get any sort of misdirection you want, but turn it over. So you're thinking of the Jack of Spades. So you didn't think of the 7 of Spades. You weren't thinking of the Ace of Diamonds. You were thinking of the Jack of Spades. So you weren't thinking of the King. And you weren't thinking of the 7. Oh shit, what's gone on here, Gaffer? Hang on guys, I can't even do my own trick now. 7, Ace, Jack. This is what happens when you're doing live stuff, you forget how something works. King, 7, right. You've got your cards. Mental selection for them. They can think of any one of these cards. Oh, hang on a minute, I know what's going on. You're going to make your selection. You're going to take yours out first, sorry. So you're going to remember whatever's on top, 7 of Spades. This one goes face down into the envelope. You're then going to pick up this packet and you're going to place all these underneath that card. You're now going to turn the envelope over and you're going to pull out cards from the bottom, one at a time. Is this the card you're thinking of? No. So you're pulling cards out from the bottom of the packet and underneath. Was this the card you were thinking of? No. What about the King of Hearts? Was that the card? No. Queen of Clubs. Were you thinking of the Queen of Clubs? Yeah, I was thinking of the Queen of Clubs. If they're thinking about this, you need a bit of misdirection. Turn this packet over. So you're thinking of the Queen. Back to the bottom of the packet. Taking out from the bottom. So you weren't thinking of the Ace of Diamonds. And you weren't thinking of the Jack of Spades. But you were thinking of the Queen of Clubs. This is quite crazy, but the card I put inside the envelope was in fact the Queen of Clubs. So that's how it works. I'll go through that again, guys, because I fumbled it, didn't I? Let's say your card is the Queen this time. So you've got the Queen. You want to put the Jack on top, followed by the Ace, followed by the 7, followed by the King. So if that's the way around you want it, when you come into this packet, you are going to remove the Queen. So all these can go into your little envelope. Right, let me just show you something mental. I've got some cards here. We've got 5 cards. I want you to mentally think of one of these cards, and I've got the same 5 cards here. I'm going to give mine a shuffle. And I'm going to take out one card. I think I might have this card. So you're going to remove the Queen. Put these face down, but they will not see this Queen. You'll take this card out this way around and you'll put it into the envelope. Right, you're mentally thinking of one of these cards, square everything up and put this into the envelope underneath the card you put in there. It's got to go underneath that card. While you're talking to them, you need to rotate this packet, bit of misdirection. Right, I'm going to pull the cards out one at a time. I want you to call out stop when you see the card you're thinking of. So you're going to reach in, you're going to pull the cards out from the bottom of the packet, always the bottom. So you're going to take the bottom card. Were you thinking of the Queen? No. Were you thinking of the Jack? I was thinking of the Jack. Right, if they're thinking of this card, you need to get a bit of misdirection, turn this deck over, say, right, you're thinking of the Jack. You weren't thinking of the King of Hearts, and you weren't thinking of the Seven of Spades, and nor were you thinking of the Ace of Diamonds. You were thinking of the Jack of Spades. And the card from my packet I put in at the beginning was in fact the Jack of Spades. So I do hope that's clear enough, guys. Should we do it one more time? Jack, Ace, Ace, 7, King, Queen. So whatever's on the top should be on the bottom. Your packet. This can all go into the envelope. Right, I just want to show you a crazy, this is like an ESP trick, but we're going to use regular cards. We've got 10 cards. I've got 5 for you, which I want you just to mentally think of one of these cards so they don't have to touch these. They're doubles, they don't need to touch them. And I'm going to make a physical selection out of one of mine. So I'm going to give my cards a bit of a mix up and I'm going to pull out, you're going to pull out whatever's on the top, the Jack. Right, I'm going to go with this card. I'm going to put my card face down in the envelope. Right, I want you to think of one of these cards, completely free choice, and I'm going to put these into the envelope underneath that card. While you're talking to them, flip this deck over. Right, I'm going to pull the cards out one at a time from the bottom. I want you to say stop when you see the card you're just thinking of, and if you want, you can change your mind at any point. So were you thinking of the Jack of Spades? No. Okay. You're pulling them out from the bottom. Were you thinking of the Ace of Diamonds? No. Were you thinking of the Seven of Spades? Nope. Were you thinking of the King of Hearts? Yes, you're thinking of the King of Hearts. Flip it over. So you weren't thinking of the Queen of Clubs. No. And at the beginning, you saw me put a card in here at the very beginning before you did anything, and it is a perfect match to your King. So that's it. We got there in the end, didn't we? Very clever. It is a clever trick, mate. Can't remember where I saw it now. But it was an ESP trick. Like I've got the symbols here. But a lot of you guys won't have these symbols. So it works just as well with a regular deck. So if you've got some old cards lying around, because you're going to need 3 of each, and a bit of card, knock it up and give it a go. And what is great is the fact that because this is a spectator is just thinking of a card, it's a great social distancing card trick. They don't have to touch nothing, do they? They're just thinking of one. So that's a bonus in these times when you can't actually do anything to anybody. This envelope is just about big enough, in all honesty. You don't want the top on it because you've got to flip this over. But in the real world, like I say, when you've got a bit of time and you haven't got a fixed camera, you can flip this over. You can just be moving around with your hands, whatever. You can easily do that. I've done this about 3 times on site last week, and in the real world you've got plenty of misdirection time to flip this over. I'll build it with some blank cards I have left. Yeah, you could build it and you could just write something on there, couldn't you? You could draw the symbols on or do whatever you like. Use your imagination. Love it. Is there any reference to this? What do you mean by that, boss? Reference? Let me know what you mean. See, I did do it on a white envelope, and you can notice this bottom a bit more on a white envelope. And it's a fair bit bigger than this one, although they're different size cards, aren't they? Source. I can't remember I saw it, mate. I watch a lot of stuff and you forget about it, and then you sort of remember it again, and then you're fiddling about trying to work out how it works. So that was what I've been doing. And just a note to all my subscribers that actually upload stuff, I am still watching your stuff, guys. I haven't been commenting as much. I've got so much stuff going on, but I am still watching the stuff going on. The ESP cards deck, I can't find it, mate. It's from a shop in Stratford. There are no markings on the deck to say where it was manufactured. I've got no idea. I've looked online. I cannot find it. But whenever the shops are reopened, I can go and get some. So I don't know the name of the ESP deck. It just says ESP Xena cards on it. I've googled it. I can't even find them online anywhere. So I'm not quite sure where the shop gets them from. Because ESP cards, they are pretty expensive online, aren't they? Oh, definitely worth skipping the football to watch the gaffer. Brilliant. Overpaid. Oh, gets up my nose, these bloody footballers. I know, let's earn what a normal person would earn in 10 years in a week for kicking a football. Absolutely criminal. Anyway, guys, that's the live show over for today. I appreciate all your support. Keep watching the bloody adverts. Get the gaffer some dosh. And this video will be posted, mate. Yeah, as soon as the live stream finishes, when it's uploaded, it will be there for everyone to see. So take care, guys, and have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Right, I forgot to stop it again. Press that X, do I? Live. Got to be in it. Boom. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?